Hello and welcome back to the world of the spirit consciousness. This is the continuation of the book study session on the astral body and other astral phenomena. We are now in the middle of the second module, which deals with miscellaneous astral phenomena and the fourth dimension. The contents are drawn from chapter 17 and 18 of this book. In this particular video session, we will be discussing about handling of the physical material. So we've already discussed about the superphysical forces. Now we will be discussing about handling of the physical material. So diving straight in, this has four subparts to it: disintegration and rematerialization, the materialization of objects, cloning, and apports. So coming to disintegration and rematerialization, so disintegration can be achieved by the action of very rapid vibrations which beat the cohesions of the molecules of the object being worked upon. A higher vibration of a quite different kind will divide the molecules into their basic atoms. A body diminished to the etheric condition can be moved from one place to another very quickly. The point when this applied force is removed, the etheric pressure will force it to take back its original pressure again. So it is important to elaborate on how an object's shape is retained when it is disintegrated and materialized again. So for example, a metal key, if it is heated to produce vapors, so when the heat is stopped, the metal hardens but the key will become a shapeless metal mass. This is because the elemental essence which forms the shape of the key will disappear by a change in its condition. It is not the heat that can impact the elemental essence, but when its temporary body is damaged as a solid, the elemental essence goes back into the huge reservoir of essence. So this can be compared to the higher principles of a person which are not impacted by heat or cold, but are pushed out of the physical body when it is demolished by fire. Hence, when the key's metal is cooled to solid form again, the earth elemental which flowed back into it won't be the same as before, and hence there would be no reason why it should be kept. So a person who melted a key to transfer it from one place to another would be mindful to keep the elemental essence in the same form until he had moved it completed. Then, by removing his will force, it would become a mold and the solidifying particles would flow into this mold or gather around this mold once again. Hence, unless the operator's will force breaks, the shape will remain perfectly as it is. So coming to materialization of objects. So materialization is converting an object from the etheric to solid state. We'll see about that. It can be initiated by a process opposite of disintegration. Even in materialization, a constant will force is required to keep the materialized matter from going back to the etheric state. So any kind of electrical disturbance causes hindrance in either the materialization or the disintegration. This is probably because the bright light makes these processes almost impossible due to the damaging impact of a strong vibration. The several types of materializations will be discussed in chapter 28 on the invisible helpers. Coming to cloning, so it is also known as reduplication. This process is produced by creating an accurate mental image of the object to be imitated, then collecting the required astral and the physical matter around that mold. This process requires a great amount of concentration to be performed because every bit of internal and external matter of the object has to be imitated in exactly the same view at the same time. An individual who cannot obtain the required matter from nearby ether can at times borrow it from the original object's material. The object from which the matter is borrowed would lose an equivalent amount of weight. So coming to apports. So apports is immediately transferring objects that are very far away to spiritual seances. They are sometimes produced with the help of disintegration. This is because after disintegration, the objects can easily be passed through any solid surface like walls or a locked box. Hence, when understood well, transferring matter through matter is as easy as transferring water through a sieve or a gas through liquid. So with this, we finish the discussion on handling physical material. Our next video, we will be discussing about creating light and fire and other phenomena. Stay tuned.